Good morning. We are so glad to begin the day with you on the first day of May. And do you know what is coming up this weekend? It's not intended to be a guessing game for you, because if you've been in town for any length of time, you know the first Saturday of May signals the Red Bank Jubilee. So our first two guests to kick off the show couldn't be more excited to welcome you over to Red Bank. This is Jeffrey Graby, who is the manager for the Red Bank Parks and Rec Department.
That's
newly
correct.
Created, kind of.
Yeah.
And then this is Brianna Burns, who you think works for the city of Red Bank. She's just their town's biggest cheerleader, and can't wait to see you at the festival. So good to see you both.
Well, appreciate it. Thanks for having us on here.
Thank you.
So the first Saturday in May is that tradition. The Red Bank Jubilee is celebrating how many years this year? Do y'all know? A bunch.
I want to say it's 43.
Yeah, around.
It's the 43rd.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been here a long time, and so sometimes the things that are kind of expected, if you will, can be often overlooked. But Red Bank, Tennessee is not overlooked. Y'all are growing, Jeffrey, by leaps and bounds.
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
ya?
Definitely, and with that, the Parks and Rec Department, like you were saying, is new. We're going to be a year old on May 3rd, so just before the Jubilee. And we've gotten to work with an amazing festival advisory board, which is a citizen board from Red Bank that helps put on our two biggest events, which is the Jubilee and the Christmas Parade and Festival. And Brianna is actually our chairperson of the festival advisory board.
So let's talk about that advisory board, because I wasn't setting you up, intendingly anyway, when I mentioned that it's been kind of a tried and true thing and could be overlooked. What's happened is Red Bank has long-standing been kind of the stalwart community in the Chattanooga area. Now young families are flocking to you, Brianna.
They really
so
are.
This year's Jubilee probably is going to have a lot of a different look to it.
It really is. You know, we've built on it the last. This will be our third year coming back after COVID, and so we have built on a really good foundation every year, and are really wanting to invite not only Red Bank citizens out, but citizens across Chattanooga to come to this festival, because so much of it is free to our guests. We're going to have a whole street blocked off on Unaka in Red Bank just dedicated to the kids. So there's going to be a bounce house. There's going to be princesses walking around to greet your kids. We're going to have a pony ride and petting zoo, face painting, cotton candy, kettle corn, all the things that you expect out of these festivals, and it's going to be free to our guests.
And you're able to do that in part because of the sponsors that you have behind you, is that right?
Yeah, we had a great just outreach of sponsorship this year, and so we want to take a second to thank our Platinum and Gold sponsors, which is Hawthorne Residential Partners, Rise Partners, Food City, which is in Red Bank as well, and EPB for making all of this possible. So like Brianna was saying, all of the things at the festival are going to be free, paid for by sponsorship, except for obviously food and drink and things that you're purchasing from the vendors.
Well, let's talk about that part of the fun, because so we've got the kids covered with all the free offerings that you have for them to come and enjoy, but you are not leaving the adults out. You've got a beer garden, right?
So we've got a beer garden. You do have to pay for that. We also have axe throwing from Holland Axe from Soddy Daisy. All you have to do is sign a waiver for that, and 13 and up can participate in some axe throwing. So
and that's free?
That's completely free.
Wow.
We also are going to have two bands. So we have an opener doing some kind of bluegrass and folk, and then our headliner is Flash Drive, which is a pretty popular local band, and they're going to be doing all kinds of covers, getting you up, dancing and moving. And then we also have, which we're really excited about, is the May the 4th Be With You costume contest. So it's a space-themed costume contest. So we invite the public to come out and dress up as their favorite characters. And then at noon, in front of the stage, we're going to have a costume contest, and it's going to be the good old applause meter.
Yeah.
And we have a trophy for first place and medals for second and third. So find out if you're the best dressed in the galaxy.
I love it. And then you've got 49 vendors who are also going to be set up selling in that park, right?
Correct, yeah. So we have 49 vendors, and it's going to be a mixture between vendors selling some food, vendors selling goods.
Gotcha.
I know that we have some local crafters and artists from Red Bank and the surrounding area that are going to be there. And then we're also going to have some unique booths that are giving out information about things going on in the community, like Red Bank High School and Northside Neighborhood House, which is a great nonprofit doing a lot in Red Bank and the surrounding area.
Yeah, so the thing that I think people are so hungry for, and probably one of the reasons why you're seeing that draw from these young families, is they certainly want the geography matters. So you're so close to downtown. But I think people are hungry for authentic life, and you've had that in Red Bank all these years, but you haven't lost it with the growth of Red Bank.
That's very true. I mean, I'm a lifelong resident, grew up, went to all the Red Bank schools, and I really am one of their biggest cheerleaders. And so I cherish that down home, small town, small community festival kind of feel. And there's so many people like me who still live there, who moved back after, moving away from their family, who seek that, cherished memories from their childhood.
But you're very happy to welcome the newcomers who want that same attachment.
Yes, absolutely. We have gotten so many new families. I mean, I know on my street even just 2 new families with, 3 or 4 kids. And so it's just so fun to pass that along and say, hey, we've got these wonderful festivals and we want to share in these memories with you.
So you might do a little house hunting while you're out having fun.
Yes.
So when does it kick off on Saturday?
Yeah, so on Saturday there's actually 2 parts to it. The first is there's the Moon Pie 5 and 10K, and packet pickup will start around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then the race starts at 8.
Okay.
And then we'll kick off the Jubilee at 10 a.m. and we'll go until 4 p.m.
Okay, go, bring a little bit of money to spend, but nothing to get you in the door. Have fun at the beer garden, the petting zoo. May the 4th be with you. Thank y'all so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
WG got me $1 million.
WG answered all my questions.
WG got me $100,000 in 24 hours.
WG got me